10 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Am I clear to you?
Okay, sir.
Am I clear to you? Okay, since we have to cover the whole syllabus, we have to be a little bit fast in giving a lecture. Okay? So we shall now have a break for 10 minutes. Then after 10 minutes, shall we resume our class? Are you willing to do that?
After 5 minutes, we can join. 5 minutes.
After 5 minutes, okay. We shall have a break for about 5 minutes, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So we'll come back we shall come back at 8, around 8 o'clock, okay?
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Okay, yeah. Are you ready?
I have a doubt about the masculine and feminine nature of the Holy Spirit.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Can you just say once more the languages of the masculine and feminine of Holy Spirit?
Holy Spirit, in the Bible, the term Holy Spirit, you know, is something like a masculine. Parakletos, that is masculine. Yeah. But as I have said, the term Holy Spirit in
Your voice is
Hebrew,
not audible, sir.
Aramaic, yeah, and uh, Syriac, it is feminine. In Greek, pneuma is neutral. So in Latin, spiritus is masculine. But in the New Testament, Holy Spirit is masculine. And the term parakletos is also masculine. For that reason, the pronoun he is used in the New Testament, in the English Bible, as pronoun for the Holy Spirit. That is masculine pronoun, as you all know. Okay? But, love is considered to be something like a feminine. And women seem to have more love. Yeah, women is more loving than than men. For that reason, since God is loving, God is love, then that is according to feminist theologian,
Hello.
that is an indication that God is feminine. Okay? Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
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 Sir, can you please explain the meaning of feminine images of the Holy Spirit?
You know, the term love, the word love, according to feminist theologian, is an indication that God is feminine because woman is more loving than men. I don't know whether you accept it or not. Okay?
Human is?
Women seem to have more love.
Pardon, sir. Can you repeat once again?
Okay. So far as love is concerned, you know, uh, you women seem to have more love, okay, rather than men. For that reason, for the feminist theologian, Since God is loving, then God is the mother. Okay? Then in the books of the prophet, you come across the idea that God is taking care of the people as, women or mother is taking care of their children. Okay? Okay.
Of this mother,
Yeah, I'm sure that you have several questions in mind, but if we try to respond all the questions you have in mind, then we can't finish our course. Okay? So please understand that we have to finish your course.
oh,
Okay. I'm going a little bit fast. Let me start with the topic, human sin and salvation. Human sin and salvation. Under this heading, we have four topics. Humanity is created in the image of God, men and women. Okay? So as you all know, in the biblical tradition, human beings, both men and women, are created in God's image. So the entire creation is performed in accordance with His eternal counsel, as found in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, and the Pauline epistle to the Philippines, chapter 1, verse 11. So it is the nature and destiny of God that men and women are created in the image of God. Not only men, but also women are created in the image of God. So where living things are created after their kind, human beings are created in God's image. Though human is created in God's image, he or she is not independent, but fully dependent on God. No estrangement exists between God and human being, despite the distinction between them. God addresses them and endowed with original righteousness. Human beings respond in complete obedience. Their response is worship and praise. This kind of fellowship was experienced in the Garden of Eden before the fall. Okay, now we'll come to the historical view of the image of God. Early Church Father, to begin with the early Church Father, the Church Father maintained the distinction between image and likeness of God. However, they all agreed that the image of God in human being consists of man's rational and moral characteristics. Tertullian and Irenaeus, the church father of the 2nd and 3rd century, image of God in human is found in bodily or physical traits. And likeness of God is found in spiritual nature of human. Famine and origin round the physical likeness too. The image denotes the characteristic of human as human, and likeness the spiritual nature of human. So in the thought of Athanasius, Ambrose, and Augustine, church father of the 4th century, image of God refers to the intellectual faculties and likeness to the moral faculties. Scholastic theologian and same Aquinas. Maintain the distinction between image and likeness is that image consists of memory, intellect, will, and immortality. These are known as natural faculties or endowment. Likeness ought denotes original righteousness, which is considered to be supernatural endowment, added later to check the natural person. Reformers, particularly Luther and Calvin, rejected the distinction between the image and likeness. For them, the terms are synonymous and have the same meaning. Original righteousness is included in the image of God. However, there was a difference of opinion between Luther and Calvin. Okay, so this is about the dimension and dimension of sin. Second topic under the heading Human Sin and Salvation. Both hamartia and Tra mean missing the mark. That is the idea of sin from the Greek and Hebrew word. So sin has negative meaning. God created humankind for a certain purpose or certain goal in life. That purpose or goal is to praise or glorify God and to have a fellowship with God, with Him eternally. But in sin, humankind is departing from what he or she should be or should do. That is what hamartia and hata mean. I think there is some disturbance in our internet. Hello?
Yes, sir. Your network is slow.
I beg your pardon?
Yes,
The
sir.
power is low.
Your voice not clear, sir.
Your voice is not clear.
Oh yeah, am I clear?
Now you are clear, sir. Now yes, sir.